record to the computer. All right, so welcome to the Team Nourished team call. Tonight is, let me check because all of time is no longer a real thing anymore. It's just kind of a figment of our imagination. So it is March the 26th. And that is a very exciting day for Team Nourished. This is the day that we officially turned 2-star diamond. And if you have no idea what that means, that is okay. But just know that it is a huge, huge deal in Beachbody world. It means, number one, that our team is exponentially expanding, meaning our team is growing fast. And it means that myself gets to replicate myself. So if Carrie went 2-star, which is 100% possible, anyone on this team can go 2-star. It is not reserved for the elite of the elite. It is not reserved for anything. If you happen to see my post that I made on my Facebook and Instagram earlier, it came from a couple of things. It came from leaning in. It came from being coachable, and it came from taking extreme ownership of my business and not backing down to any kind of fear or any kind of self-limiting belief, because I've been doing this for a long time now, and it's one of those things that can absolutely happen to anybody in any amount of time. I've seen people go 2-star in a year, and I've seen people like myself take 5 years, and I've seen people take 7 years. There's no time limit on it, but the faster you get over yourself, the faster you can hit goals. And that's just the reality of it. So want to pop some champagne bottles for that, because I'm super proud of our team. But at the same time, one of my biggest mistakes when I hit diamond the first time back in 2016 was celebrating for a little too long, sitting pretty on my laurels for a little too long, thinking, well, I hit diamond, that's all I got to do. Now the rest will just come to me. And that's not the case. The nice thing to do is to celebrate every single little win and then continue to help people, because that's what we're here for, right? Okay, I am going to share my screen so we can get into a little recognition. We have our weekly top 5 that posted today. Carrie, I've really got to talk to her about this. Carrie Summers, Amanda Collison, Kimberly Grindle, Erica Trout, and Heather Dion. You guys are all in the weekly top 5. And I promised Kimberly that I would explain how you get into the top 5. You get into the top 5 by Success Club points, by recruitment coaches, you're recruiting coaches, and also by personal volume. So that means things that you order, things that people order up underneath of you, things that your team is ordering. All of that personal volume is what gets you into this weekly top 5. Those are the 3 metrics that we use to measure that put us here in this ranking order. It just means that you're engaged in your business, that you're doing the things. It's just one way that I get to highlight people. I love getting to recognize people and highlight them for the good work that they're doing on themselves and with other people. So top Success Club earners for the week, SC5+. Carrie Summers hit SC10. That means she has helped 5 people, and she has secured herself paid leads for the month of April. Myself is at SC8 on the board. Lynn Stewart Melling is at SC2. She enrolled her husband, which is fantastic. She is halfway to Emerald. And then Amanda Collison is also at SC2. So congratulations, ladies. There is still more than plenty of time in this month to get your name on this board. I expect to see lots of people's names on this board before the end of the month, to be quite honest, because our team is like rapidly approaching. And after this call, if you are not on freaking fire, then I have not done my job well. Okay, so a couple of little housekeeping items. Well, I had them all queued up, but maybe now I'll stop sharing and just go over them. Number 1 is Summit registration. If you are a new coach in 2020, you get the 2020 new coach discount. So please get on and register for Summit. As far as I know, we are all still going to New Orleans in July, barring any further craziness than what's going on, but who really knows. But if, just like with the Success Club trip that was canceled, if something happens and they have to cancel Summit, they will 100% refund your money. That is not a question. There's a couple of things that I did want to go over as far as Summit, meaning we do split up hotel rooms and Airbnbs and all kinds of things like that. So if you are wanting to go, you are welcome to piggyback in with other people from our team and with other teams so that you can kind of cut down the cost on staying. I have a roommate. I know Amanda's getting a room together. I know Carrie's got a room. But it is a really awesome way for our team to bond during this long weekend. It's a 4-day event, but it's also a really great way for you to pour into your business. Consider it business development. If you're CEO company, whatever if your company you worked for full time offered some kind of conference, you would want to go to that. This is the exact same thing, but with a lot of extra fun stuff. So it's fun and learning experience. So Summit is coming up very rapidly. And we also, just in case nobody had heard, they did cancel the Super Saturday in April. It is going to be a virtual Super Saturday. So there's no excuse for anybody not to be able to go. It's going to be within your own home. So you can create a watch party. You guys can all get together virtually and watch it. I know I will. We don't have a Super Saturday here in Hawaii yet. And so we watch it from home anyway. So you'll get to do that. And it's kind of a nice thing to do. There'll be a workout, I'm sure, that you'll be able to stream live into your house, and also some business development and personal development tools as well. Okay, so I kind of want to dive straight in to the call topic tonight, because I have Carrie and Amanda I had asked both of them to speak as leaders on this team of how they started their business. But I wanted to kind of go over, what does this even mean? Because I know Ashley, Renee, you guys are both fairly new. Linda, you're still new-ish. I know I had attached the word ish to this. And basically that ish is meant to be all-inclusive, because there's so many. This is one of the things I was talking to Keyshawn today. She's my corporate mentor. The cool thing about Beachbody coaching is that at any point in time as a coach, you can decide to do this as a business or not do this as a business. It is a sole proprietorship. You are the controller of your business, which is intimidating for a lot of people. I think that is one of the things that slows people down, because there's a lot of employee mindset versus CEO mindset playing into that. And so when you take off the employee hat and put on the CEO hat, all of the sudden you are responsible for the growth of your business. And so that was one of the things when Keyshawn asked me, what changed this year? What changed that pushed me in the first quarter of the year to hit 2-star? And it's extreme ownership. It was having a runner like Amanda and her team go diamond, and me, because Amanda actually was diamond for 6 weeks, maybe even. I think 6 weeks before I decided to make my husband's account diamond. That was a decision on my part. Matt's account had been diamond before. I let it fall way, way down, like real down, like so down. Sometimes he wasn't even emerald. But at the same time, I made a decision that we were going to change this narrative. And I had a very brief phone call with my mindset coach, Brooke, and with another girl on our larger team. And they both were like, if this is in your control and you've pledged to take extreme ownership of not just your business, but your life, all of it this year, why are you not just taking care of this today? And it was the very last day to start qualification for the 2-star bonus. So every quarter, if you hold 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, 15-star, you get a financial bonus, just like you would at any other corporate job. They offer bonuses at certain levels. And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do this today. And within 2 hours, I had secured Matt's diamond. It took work. It took me being vulnerable. It took me asking for people to do me a favor. But it was one of those things, as soon as I did it, instantly, I had made that decision and I moved forward. And that sounds really big on my end, but it's no different than the decision to become Emerald. It's no different than the decision to help your very first person. Once you make a decision, and that's why you'll always hear on every team call, on every team training, Emerald is a decision, Diamond is a decision, this is a decision. And you're like, well, it's not a freaking decision if I'm waiting for somebody to do something, right? Except it is. Like, once you've made that decision, it all becomes apparent to you how much control you actually had over it. So I do want to slow the pace of the call down really quick and open up something, because I know that there are new and newish coaches on this call. And so I want to, if I can find what I screenshotted, story of my life. I can't ever find what I screenshot, you guys. I am going to share my screen and share exactly what it takes to become each rank. So when you become a coach and you enroll, here is you. You are this sweet little white circle right here, full of perfect roundness and perfection. You are an active coach. You become a blue circle. That means you have 50 to 90 or more PV every single month. That means your Shakeology order is on Home Direct, your performance line, your beach bars, whatever that is, those things are active, right? Okay. The next step, and all of this happens instantaneously, right? Like when you enrolled, you instantly became an active coach if you purchased a challenge pack. Just 100%. If you enrolled 6 months ago and you've never turned off your HD, guess what? You're still an active coach. That means you can still make commissions. You are this pretty blue dot right here. In order to become Emerald, a lot of people, and when I was talking to Keyshawn about this today, she asked me, how long did it take you to hit Emerald? And I said 5 months. And she was like, really? And I was like, I know. I made it so much harder on myself than it ever had to be. And I knew that the instant I became Emerald. As soon as I hit Emerald, and Amanda, I know you're going to talk about this from your perspective. You have a really beautiful perspective on this because she did not take 5 months to do it. And I don't think Carrie did either. And I'm pretty sure Amanda Collison didn't either. But I did. And I remember thinking when I hit Emerald, God, that was not as hard as I made it out to be. I had put it up on this pedestal of, oh my God, Emerald coaches. Oh my gosh, this is such a big deal. And I made it so much harder. You guys, it's 2 people enrolling underneath of you. This can be your husband and your mom, your boyfriend and your cousin, your neighbor and your brother. It can be literally anyone. Beachbody also allows you to do U+2, which means you are allowed to host 2 other people on your credit card if you so chose to. There are stipulations with that. They do need to be a spouse or an immediate family member, a mom, a sister. I don't even know the sister's right. A mom, I think sister. But they do have to be a child that's over 18. They do have to be within your immediate family structure, but you can host them if you so chose. So if you were going to do Shakeology and the performance line or Shakeology and the beach bars, you could enroll your mom or your brother or whoever underneath of you to be your first coach with that extra order. You're still getting the 25% off, but now you're halfway to Emerald, right? So that's why we encourage you. And I'm going to show you a little bit later the financial aspects of becoming Emerald. But this is something that literally I've watched people do in 2 hours from signing up. I've watched people do it in 24 hours of signing up. It is only as hard as you choose to make it. You can ask your friend, and this is something we talk about in new coach calls, right? Hey, Linda, I know you have a friend, Ramona, so I'm going to use her. Hey, Ramona, I'm starting a health and wellness business. I'm looking for a couple of people to do this with me, to be my guinea pigs. Would you help me out? Could you do me a favor and enroll in this with me? That takes a level of vulnerability. And we'll talk about that a little bit because I know that that's a big component of starting any business. But if you were to start a pizza shop, you would go to Ramona and say, hey, Ramona, can you bring your family to support my pizza shop? This is no different. It seems different because we make it out to be different, but it is no different than any other business you so choose to do. So these are ways to make yourself Emerald. Like I said, you can make yourself Emerald literally in an hour. I mean, that's what I did when I had to make Matt's account Diamond. I had to create an Emerald. I did it in less than 2 hours. It is 100% within your control if you choose to make a decision to do it. Okay, moving forward, Ruby, this is kind of I call it like the Harry Potter closet of coaching. A lot of people don't even, I mean, they hit Ruby, but they don't even it's kind of like the points are made up, and I don't really know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. Because if you can hit Ruby, most of the time, you're real darn close to active Diamond. Diamond is where your business truly opens up the doors and you're able, I mean, and Amanda can speak to this. I know Carrie's hit Diamond before. I can speak to this. That's where really things start to open up. Your income becomes expansive in that. That's where you start earning those $18 teen cycle bonuses, that kind of thing. But Ruby, most of the time, people don't have an Emerald, and 2 other coaches. Most of the time, where people get hung up on reaching Diamond is they have coach, and no Emeralds. So if you've gotten this far, most likely you have these other coaches as well. So that's the Beachbody rank structure. And I just kind of wanted to give an overview of that because I know a lot of people hear terms like emerald, ruby, and diamond, and 2-star, and premier, and elite, and all of these terminologies that you don't understand. Oh my God, there's a spider in my office. That's recorded. Hashtag professional. I'm like, I don't want that spider near me. All diamond means is that one of these people all 1-star means is that one of these people are diamond. All 2-star means is that one person over here is diamond and one person over here is diamond. So it's not as like frou-frou and fancy. 3 is balanced the same, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, whatever. And just to kind of give an overview, because I always am like, well, I don't want to intimidate someone. I don't want to make them feel like this is so big. But at the same time, I think we run the risk of not showing you what's possible if you choose to dream and push beyond your self-limiting beliefs. When you become 2-star, so say like I have a diamond here and a diamond here, and I ran through the 6 weeks of qualification. Those were those posts every single Thursday morning that you woke up to about how we were going through qualification. I get to open a second business center under my own name. So today I put in the paperwork to open a duplicate of myself. I put that duplicate of myself underneath of me, and I will make that account emerald as soon as humanly possible. As soon as they approve it, I have 2 people that I'm ready to go. And I will work toward making that myself diamond again. Because again, it took me, how long? A long time to hit diamond. A year, I think, 11 months, something like that. 11 months to hit diamond. I watched people do it in 18 days. It's 12 coaches. Like it is 100% possible to be able to do that in a much, much shorter timeline. Okay. I don't know how to, where is my unshare button? Why is it not unsharing? Oh, stop share. There it is. Okay. So I just wanted to run down that really quickly so that we have a peripheral knowledge of what I'm talking about. Because like I said, it all seems very ambiguous until you see it down on paper. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's not as big of a deal as I was making it out to be. So the other thing that you notice is Success Club points. And what does that mean? For every single time you help someone enroll with a challenge pack, which is exactly what you enrolled with most likely, that means a bundle pack of Shakeology or Performance Line and Beachbody On Demand, you get 2 Success Club points. The big metric that Beachbody measures success by is hitting Success Club 5 or more every month. That basically means that every single month you're moving your business forward. That's the minimum amount that they have tracked over all of the research that shows you that you're moving your business forward. Otherwise, you're a discount coach, which is no big deal. And there's no shame in that. But like I said, I think we all run the risk of limiting ourselves if we don't talk about bigger things. So a couple of little things that, like I said, I wanted this to be kind of a new coach. Okay, how do I do this kind of call? But I feel like I had to go over some of the basics before we can talk about the how, right? So when I enroll a new coach, their primary objective in the first 21 to 30 days is to go through the boot camp. No different than if I had enrolled them as a challenger. They go through the boot camp just like every single person on this call right here. You go through a 21 or 30-day boot camp, right? You go through March's boot camp. You took your before photo. On the 21st day of your 21-day fix, you took your after photo. You have some measurable something. It doesn't have to be weight loss. It can be your mindset. Oh my God, that spider. Y'all. Sorry, he jumps. They're just little, but they bother me. There has to be some measure. You need to be taking note. I always encourage people to journal their process. That's why Morning Meltdown, I love that because it came with the actual like journal that people were keeping their progress with. But keep track of how you're feeling. So many people run through life and they aren't even in tune with their body and how they're feeling. They don't even know. They're just so busy all the time. I do not have a spider infestation. I have one spider that I cannot kill. It's terrible. Okay. But they don't even have an idea that things are shifting, that not just their physical body, but they don't even realize like all of a sudden, oh my God, I've smiled so much more. in the past 3 weeks. I've engaged with more people, especially in this time of isolation and people are socially isolated to a certain extent. This is the best time to start a business because we are offering something that brings hope directly into people's houses. We are streaming hope. We are streaming the ability to be healthier. We are streaming, and I know legally we can't say stuff like this, and I'm not going to like legally put this out there, but we are streaming better immune systems directly into people's houses, because if they're exercising and they're fueling their body well and they're drinking their Shakeology, you are boosting your immune system. We have that power within our cabinets, within our TVs, and to not share that, it's selfish. And I know that that's harsh. I know that that feels yucky, but it's the truth. When you don't share it, it's not helping anyone else. We watch people flounder all the time with diets and with random piecemeal Pinterest workouts that they found and all of this other stuff, where we can give them this nice little box delivery of all of what they need, plus the community support every single day to help them get results. And if they don't get results, they get their money back. So you're not coercing anybody into doing anything. You're not twisting their arm. You're not taking their money. You're offering them a solution. And if they don't get the solution, they get their money back, because we don't want them bad mouthing us and be like, well, they took my money and they won't give it back and I hate them. And so we have that ability. So how do we do that? Right? Like I said, your first 21 to 30 days is doing the workout, is doing the challenge group. It's not just doing the workout and not posting your accountability. It's not just drinking a shake every day and not noticing the benefits. It is doing the boot camp the way it was designed. And that counts. I realize like that sounds like a very like, oh my gosh, okay, new coaches, that applies to them and not to me. I'm a new-ish coach. The reality is that is the exact same process we do every single month. Every single month. It is rinse and repeat. And I know that's not sexy, and I know it's not fun, and I know there's not this like secret magic pill that I have that you don't. The secret magic pill that I have that you don't might be consistency. It might be my superpower of showing up. That's all it is. So then once you're doing that, the next layer to that is to start sharing it. And that's where that vulnerability comes in. And I know that sucks. I will be the very first person to tell you that was the hardest thing for me to do. I touted myself as a very private person. I didn't want anybody knowing my business. I didn't want anybody, but it's all fear-based, right? Because if you have nothing to hide, what does it matter? It's all fear-based when you won't share. Now, granted, part of it is routine, and I understand that, but we have tools and workarounds for that. But part of showing up without a filter that's vulnerability. Part of showing up with you don't have to do a workout video. I'm not telling everybody in the world to do a workout video, but part of showing up and talking about how you're trying to improve yourself insinuates that there was something that needed to be fixed to begin with, which takes your perfection level down a notch. That exposes you. And one of my favorite quotes, Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly. I talked about this in my post today. Carrie knows I've talked to her about Daring Greatly 100,000 times, right? That book changed everything for me because it helped me to realize what I always saw. I didn't even know that I saw vulnerability as weakness. I just thought that's just not stuff we talked about. I mean, my mom and her generation was like, we don't talk about our private lives, right? Like they're private. So we don't share that kind of stuff. That's how people in that generation are socially isolated. That's how people in that generation struggle with diabetes and all of these lifestyle management disorders, because they're too proud to be able to say, I needed help and I went out and I got it. And I have this solution that I can offer you. So don't be that. Right? Like you have the power to change that narrative. You have the power to say, I will tell my story, and not just once. This is something Keyshawn and I were talking about today, because I was like, well, I've shared that. And she's like, how many times in the last month have you shared that? Whatever it was, my story about coaching. And I was like, once. And she's like, do you remember what your coach Amanda shared on her Facebook 3 weeks ago? I was like, no. I can't. I mean, I love Amanda. I see all of her stuff. Could not tell you a single thing she shared. Then why do you think anybody can remember what you shared? If you are constantly showing up as that beacon of light and constantly telling your story once a week at minimum, why do you think anybody remembers? She said, you want to be the person, and this was something that I thought that was really interesting. She said, do you know Ashley Molsted's story, who's the #1 coach in all of Beachbody? Do you know Melanie Mitro, who was number, I think, 2 or 3? Do you know Moira? Do you know these top 10 people's stories? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. Why do you know their stories? Because they tell it relentlessly. It is seared in your brain. And if you want people to be attracted to you as a beacon of hope, you have to tell your story relentlessly. Because otherwise, everyone and their mother is too consumed with their own life to even notice what's going on with other people's. So get over yourself. And I know that that's a hard pill to swallow, but like, get over yourself. You aren't so important that your story isn't important. Everyone's story is important. It's your testimony. That has been what has resounded in my heart over and over and over, is that my story is not just a story, it's the testimony of my life, of how God has changed me using Beachbody, how that is the story, right? Like, that's the hope that we offer. So sharing that means posting a picture once a day. Doesn't have to be a picture of your face, it can be a picture of your food, picture. And I'm going to give you guys a really cool assignment at the end of tonight's call too, because Keyshawn gave me this and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I think my team would absolutely love this, but and it's going to have an incentive wrapped up in it, which is going to be really, really fun. But share this story. Sharing your story is a part of that. Sharing your story. And it doesn't have to be the word vomited every single solitary part of your story in one post over and over and over and over again. Because we don't read posts that are like 50 inches long, right? It's like reading the newspaper. Nobody reads the big long stories. They kind of skim over it, right? Like, so sharing the larger, not the largest, but the larger picture of your story about once a week, sharing crumb bite sizes of your story every day. So maybe that means you found, I don't know, through the boot camp process, you found that you were sensitive to gluten or you were sensitive to grain. That's part of my story, right? Like, that through the last 6 months, I did some experimentation, found out that I'm extremely sensitive to grains. So cutting that out, I found some really cool alternatives, like the crepini, egg white, and cauliflower wraps. Sharing that is a piece of my story. I'm able to share the wrap, and in the comment of the thing, talk about what I made with the wrap, why I even was looking for an alternative to a regular whole wheat wrap. And I'm giving people a piece of my story as well as value. So those are all pieces of your story. Talk about the community. Again, I'm going to give you a resource that's going to tell you all of these things. But with that said, and this is a really fun illustration that she shared with me, and if you guys know me very well, you know that I'm obsessed with word pictures. Like, that's how my brain operates. For whatever reason, my brain operates best with word pictures. And we were talking about, like, that's all fine and dandy. So maybe you've gotten consistent. Maybe you are a new-ish coach that's very consistent. You're sharing on Instagram stories. You're tagging people. You're doing the workouts. You're sharing all of the things. And you haven't seen a single lick of nothing. That's because you're a show horse. And I love this visual illustration. So you're a show horse, right? You're real pretty on the outside. You're walking around. But there's also the workhorse, right? That's the person on the back end that's inviting their behind off. They're talking about it. They're out there, man. They are, will you join my challenge group? I mean, they've gotten over the scaredness of the invite, and they're copy pasting that thing all over town, right? They're going through their Facebook list. They're texting their hairdresser. I have this amazing opportunity. This would be the best thing for you. But there's no show at all in the workhorse. There's none. So when you messaged Sally from high school, she goes to your Instagram or she goes to your Facebook, and all it is a bunch of pictures of your dog or your kids or a bunch of crap you've shared from political websites. You have no proof that your life has changed whatsoever because you have not put it out there. So being a workhorse is good, but there's no show. Being a show horse is nice, but there's no work. She said what you want to be is secretariat. You want to be the show horse that works its ass off. That is how you build a business. Both of those things coming together. And I love that illustration. I was like, oh, I picture Secretariat. I know exactly what you're talking about. So those two things working together is how you build a business. Everything else is just a skill you learn, like anything else. Okay, how do I talk to people? Like a human. Hey, Amanda, how are you doing? Things are crazy. How is this lockdown affecting your family? Are you okay? How can I pray for you? Then typically the conversation pulls back into, actually, things really suck. I feel like crap. I wake up, I have no structure to my day. I don't know what's going on. What about you? Well, honestly, I'm okay. I get up, I've been doing this workout program, and so that's really helpful for me to be able to create structure around my day. You know, obviously I want to binge eat M&Ms just like anybody else, but I've found that since I started drinking the shake, I actually don't want to binge eat M&Ms all the time anymore. Like I might just have 4 instead of 50. You know, so those are easy ways. Hey, I don't know if you're interested in this or not, but my team is starting a new boot camp April the 6th. Can I send you some information on it? That's how you have a leading conversation that began with a genuine interest in the other person. So those are some things to kind of wrap yourself around, but that's how you get to the next level of wherever you are right now, whether that's I signed up yesterday and I'm a brand new coach and I don't know what to do, or maybe you are Emerald and you have been stuck there for a really long time and you need to move forward. Or maybe you're somewhere in the in-between. You're a coach wanting to get Emerald. You're maybe a Diamond who's wanting to push to 1 star. These are the same ways. And it's just a rinse and repeat business. And again, I know that's not sexy. I know nobody wants to hear that, but that is the truth of not just this business, but the majority of all businesses. Like we see the innovation, we see the fun, we see the success, we see the flashy graphics and the fun marketing. But even, I know Ashley is a part of the Walt Disney Corporation. Even Walt Disney did the unsexy work, the showing up day after day after day after day, hammering at the same thing. That's this too, you know. We have this really cool tool, the business activity tracker. It's linked in our team page. I'll bump it up again. I feel like it just needs to be pinned at the top of our page at this point, but you can print this off and it runs down. This is my one from last week. Look, accountability. This is why my business is growing. But it basically outlines exactly what you do every single day to see your business grow. If you follow that like a checklist, you will see success in your business. There is 100% guarantee on that. Okay, last thing I wanted to share before I turn it over to, I think we'll do Amanda first and then Carrie. I'm going to share my screen one more time really quick, and this is going to go up in our team page because I'm going to incentivize this. So you guys, there's going to be a fun incentive wrapped around. But this is I don't know what TITF is. She got this from another team. So I'm assuming this is their something bring the fire, I don't know, sharing challenge. But this is share a story of a fellow challenger, posted, check. Share a story about your biggest supporter, check. Share why you became a coach, check. Share a story about your upline, that's me or Carrie or Amanda Collison or whoever, check. Share a story about something you've done with your coaching income. If you haven't gotten a check yet, share about what you will do. These are how you build a business. These are the sharing points that get people talking, that get people asking questions. Again, there is an element of like marketing in this, and we can go over very quickly like what that looks like. Don't take a bunch of dark photos in a dark room that nobody can see you at. Hold the phone up like this and take a picture, not down here frowning. This looks like I hate my life as a coach. This looks like what a fun life I live. This is amazing. If you're taking a picture of food, take it to a window, take it outside in your grass. Don't dump the food in your grass, but like hold the plate in a well-lit area. Don't take it on a paper plate, with dim lighting all around you. Look at pictures that look nice to you and emulate them, copy them. don't take their picture. You can just copy their picture and do your own version of it. Very easy. This should not take you, the whole business activity tracker should not take you more than an hour. And that this has an hour and a half, but it also includes workout and drinking your Shakeology. So like, okay, be real. That's a part of your daily life anyway at this point. So that should not be a part of this. Everything else is just consistency, guys. Okay, Amanda, let me turn this over to you. You can just unmute yourself, honey. And I don't know why I just called you honey, but honey.
It's okay. You can call me honey. All right. Hey guys, can you hear me? I'll try not to talk too loud because I have these are too soft. Anyhow, I'm Amanda. I am, I've been a coach for almost 3 years. I'll celebrate 3 years in May. So when I first started, it wasn't to coach. I started just to kind of get my mindset back on track because my husband had had a stroke and we were about 1 year into his stroke recovery. And I just wasn't doing anything to get the stress out or exercise or anything like that. We had 3 appointments, 3 days a week. I was driving a lot, 2 kids, and I just wasn't doing anything health-wise to keep me on track. So I saw Danielle posting. Actually, she was in Hawaii on a retreat with another coach, and they were doing a sneak peek. And I can remember being out folding clothes, and I just felt this heavy weight, like almost in tears. And I was like, something has to change. Something has to change. So I saw her post. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hop on and see what it's about. And that's when I decided to text her and say, hey, what is this coaching thing? What is this workout thing? And of course, she gave me all the information. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. And then I think I text back. I'm like, well, what is a coach? And she let me know everything. And I was like, well, sure, I'll do that because I want the discount. So I signed up in May, and then she posted again like a week or maybe 2 weeks before Summit. And I'm like, well, I want to go do that. So I'm like, hey, how can I go to this Summit thing? Can I still get in? And she's like, sure. So I went down, still with no intention to coach. I just wanted to better my health. And we did Summit that weekend. It was in New Orleans. And I just learned about the mission and the heart behind the company. And then it became more real. Okay. So I came back home, my mom and my husband, we were doing 21-day fix, getting up every morning. And I was like, wow, if I can encourage them to get up with me to work out, why can't I encourage other people? And that's when I started dabbling a little bit with coaching, and just sharing little bits of my story. I was more of a show horse, not a workhorse, because I wasn't really reaching out to people behind the scenes, but I was definitely sharing my journey. And I didn't really go all in until about a year later when I went back to Summit again, Indianapolis. I think that's where we went with my coach, Layla. And we just started brainstorming, and it was fun. Like I was having fun with it. I'm like, this is what I want. I want to have fun and be excited and share. So I came back and I made the decision to go diamond. And I did. I got my husband Emerald, and then Layla was Emerald. It was easy. And I held it for maybe 4 weeks because like Danielle did, I was like, well, I'm good. I'm set. No one's going to fall out. Michael lost his Emerald, lost my diamond. But I was still having fun with it. And I want to say last October is when I think I completely 100% committed, because I started doing some mindset work with Brooke. And I started taking action. Like when I had thoughts, action, invites, action, instead of thinking about all these things and setting on them. I started reading more personal development, even though, you're told to read and you're like, I got it. I'm good. I actually started reading it. And the book that kind of got me on track was the Slight Edge. Wonderful book. And I'm like, yeah, take action. Again, take action. And then I started reading There's No Plan B for Your A Game, or A Plan, or something like that. And he's talking about how 90% is practice. And I'm like, well, you know what? That is so true. Why can't I start practicing, connecting with people, just with no intention to get them to come to a challenge group, just connect with them, reach out. And so I just started doing that, just practicing, and then taking action. So then I started hitting Success Club, getting more people into my groups, which drove up excitement in there. And then I don't even know how many weeks it's been. Our team was close to diamond, and just like Danielle said, it is a decision. I have my husband and my mom on each side. When we first started, I was buying 2 Shakeologies on my account. It made sense to enroll my husband because he's a veteran, so he gets the military discount, free coaching enrollment, and then put the shake on him because I was already buying it. So then I gifted my mom her coaching enrollment because, you know, I didn't have to pay and he didn't have to pay. So I gifted that to her, and then now she buys her own Shakeology. To get my husband to Diamond or to Emerald, I enrolled my sister and my brother-in-law, who are both military. It just made sense for them to use that discount. And then what I did is I have them buy what I'm already going to buy because I buy Energize and the other stuff. So I'm already spending the money. So I just have them buy it. And then I kind of made the decision to invest in my business. And I just pay my sister the money back because, you know, she's not using Shakeology right now, but I'm sure she will. I wanted to talk about Success Club. I hit it last month. And today I have 22 free leads from Beachbody that I can reach out to. So I can add that to my list. It's like a no-brainer. I reach out to these people. And again, I'm practicing what I would share with other people who I know. I don't know these people. I don't have to be afraid to say the wrong thing. So I just practice and reach out to them. What else can I talk about?
Well, let me interrupt you really quick because one of the things I wanted to highlight about your story, and that's fantastic, Amanda. I think there's 2 things. Number one was when you went to Summit that first year, you enrolled your husband and your mom in the car on the way home. She literally became enrolled in the car on her way home. So again, it's that decision point. The other thing was you had talked about you started working with a mindset coach in October. And I got to kind of get a front row seat because I was working with Brooke as well. And one of the things that Brooke had us do was write a vision. Craft a vision for what your life looks like. And that I feel like was the game-changing moment for you because I don't think you had ever had a vision. And it wasn't because I hadn't asked you to write one. It just wasn't your time to have a vision.
Yes. It was very hard. Just going back, looking at what we've gone through in the last 3 years. And I think I've spoke to you about this, Danielle. I just kind of stopped dreaming and planning because we were very much living our life day to day because appointments and kids, and there just really wasn't any time to dream like what was our future going to look like. And I kind of just forgot how to do it. And thinking back, you know how when you're younger and you're like, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to do this, and you're dreaming and you're building that vision and you get excited and you go forward with it. I had stopped doing that. So it was great to work with Brooke and then be like, wow, I have this vision. And I got to share it with my kids and I'm like, okay, close your eyes. And we're talking about a lake house. One of my goals is to get a lake house so that we can go fishing anytime we want and just be out there by the lake barbecuing and just to see their excitement and just the joy. And then like me too, I'm like, this is exciting. And even now, like when I mention something about money, Sean will say, what about the lake house, Mom? And so just to be able to get excited about that again and share it with my kids and get them excited and then to teach them how to have a vision and dream and pursue goals. So yeah, that was a big change for me.
That is it. Hopefully Carrie will be able to pop back on here in a minute. I think her internet was glitching out. But guys, I can even show you. I have my vision. Well, I guess it's kind of dark over there, but my vision is up there on my wall. I went through whatever Snapfish. Hey, Carrie's back. I went through Snapfish and I printed off a bunch of pictures, and it's not just a bunch of cutouts. It's the stuff that drives me to do my work when I don't want to. When I'd rather watch, what is it I started watching last night? Tiger King. That awful show on Netflix. It is so bad, you guys. But that vision is what keeps me from binge watching that instead of pouring into my business. Because the reality is, especially in times like this when we're all kind of isolated and stuck at home, you have the time to build a business. It's just not a priority for you, or there's all these other self-limiting beliefs that are holding you up. Carrie, I want to make sure you have plenty of time to talk. So unmute yourself and talk about how you got started helping people, because you also got started really quickly.
Yeah, so I'm getting close to 3 years of coaching as well. I guess it'll be 3 years in August, so I have a little bit longer to go. But I actually, like, my background was I was a challenger before I became a coach. got introduced to Danielle through a mutual friend of ours. And I got introduced kind of to the community before becoming a coach and seeing what that was all about. And then that's really why I stuck around and decided to enroll as a coach. I went through the Shift Shop like test group, got results from that, and it was the first time, you know, that I had actually done any sort of real programming, like with any workouts, and followed like an actual like laid out nutrition plan. And I was like, wow, okay, this is easy. I can do this. And I remember enrolled as a coach and like went to Mexican with friends. And I remember sitting there, I was like, well, this is great. I just enrolled as a health and fitness coach, and here I am drinking margaritas and stuffing my face with chips and salsa. I was like, prime example. But like, obviously, my mindset was, you know, not in the same place as it is now. And it's not all about, you know, being healthy every single day of your life. Like, we have to have a little bit of balance in there somewhere. But at first I ended up being a success starter, and so it looked different back then. They recently just changed the success starter program, but back when I enrolled, to be a success starter, you had to earn Success Club your first 3 months of coaching. And so I was like, all right. And I'm kind of the type of person where you like dangle something in front of me and I'm gonna go after it. So I knew that I could earn a free ticket to the summit. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to Summit and I'm gonna get my ticket paid for. So I'm gonna hit Success Club my first 3 months. And that's what I did. And basically I just started out sharing with the people who were closest to me, my friends that, you know, I grew up with, people that I worked with. We call it like your warm market. So those are the easiest people to start with anyway, because you're the most comfortable in talking to them and sharing with them anyway. And then after that, I just started to I just had to grow my network of people and started to branch out. And just through practicing, like Amanda said, like I got more comfortable in just talking about it with people. And my social media side of things, Danielle, I think, still has the message saved, I'm sure. I basically told Danielle I wasn't ever going to take a selfie and that I wasn't going to share much on social media. And I don't even remember like what my social media even looked like almost 3 years ago, but I like never posted on Facebook. I was just like, I guess you could call me a troll. Not that I was like negatively commenting on anything, but I just used it to like, I'll check in, see what's happening today. And then I rarely posted anything. And Instagram, I guess I posted more pictures on there. Kind of like Danielle was saying, like it was just kind of like this scrapbook of different things. Like, oh, here's what I did today. Or this was really cool. Just thought I'd share it with you. But just practicing with that too, I got more comfortable with that. And it's really just getting out of your own way. I feel like that's been said already tonight too, just getting out of your own way. I think we get so wrapped up in opinions of what other people will think. And I know that that was a big thing for me as well. And it's really not the opinion. It's your opinion. It's your opinion. Like you have to get out of your own way. Like what other people, you can't control what other people are going to think, but you can control what you put out there and like the vibes that you put out there. So once that happened, and like just the more I did it, the more comfortable I got. And I will say, I feel like it kind of took me a while to really learn what it meant to be authentic in kind of sharing. And I think that just comes to with doing it more often. And just getting it down to like what are you really like, how does this all really make you feel like, and like your perspective. And I know that
Absolutely.
Like yesterday, someone told me that she didn't feel like she would make a good coach quite yet. And I was like, I'm still learning stuff every single day. Like, what is a good, like, what does a good coach even mean? Like, if you're showing up and helping people, then you're being a good coach.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to say.
Yeah, fun. I love when you bring up your first, because I have it saved. I screenshotted our very first conversation about this when you enrolled as a coach, and you were like, don't ever expect me to take a sweaty selfie. I don't take selfies. And I was like, oh, okay. And I think I was very like nonchalant. I was like, all right, well, you don't have to. That's not like a requirement. You can just get your discount. But then again, one of the things that I love about Carrie's story is that she was not just a sponge, because again, I think there's these two different kinds of people. There are the people that don't even ever get out of the gate, right? Like they just totally freeze. Maybe the first person they asked said no, and they're like, oh, well, this isn't going to work for me. And then there's the other people that also don't do very much, that are in every team training, and they listen to every call, and they're on the national wake up call, and they're listening, and they're absorbing, and they're absorbing, and they're absorbing, but they have never done a single thing with any of that. And I think what's important about your story, Carrie, is that you learned the information and you directly implemented it. And I don't think there's any shame in acknowledging that there are seasons to this, just like there's seasons of everything else. I think everybody can go through a period of time. I mean, I know I have, where I feel like, well, I shouldn't have to invite. I've already shared my story. I don't need to tell social media that again, because I've already said it once. And that's like a big mindset block for me that I've had to work with Brooke about, is the repeating myself. Like I've always found that very annoying. I know Amanda and I have talked about this on our one-on-one calls all the time. Like I shouldn't have to repeat myself. If I tell you Success Club means this, I should not, in my opinion, ever have to repeat myself. But holding you to that expectation would also mean I have to hold myself to that. So if you ever once told me anything, I am never allowed to ever forget it ever. No, like obviously I can ask you the same question. Then why am I not giving that grace to other people? And so that's that mindset, like digging yourself out of that mindset hole where you're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So don't be afraid to share your story. Again, like this kind of bringing this back full circle. Number one, don't be afraid to share your story at all, because the vulnerability, like, again, this is all tied back to Daring Greatly. So to me, if you can take 2 book recommendations away from this call, Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Olson. I think it's Olson. Look it up on Google. And then Brene Brown's Daring Greatly. Those 2 books were huge for me. And I know they were for each of Amanda and Carrie as well, because those 2 things, the power of being vulnerable, Brene talks about in her book. Like when you see someone else be vulnerable, you're not like, oh, she's so weak. What a pathetic piece of junk. You're like, oh, she is so brave. That's amazing. Like how amazing that she put herself out there. God, go, Gina. Like you are amazing. But you don't allow yourself to be put in that spot, because it's weak when it's you, but it's strong when it's someone else. That logic doesn't add up. it's still strong when it's you. It just sucks. Like nobody likes doing it. So my big workaround is post the really vulnerable thing and then turn my phone off and go do something like wash dishes or play a game with my kids, something that completely takes my mind off of, oh my God, I can't believe that I just admitted I used to binge eat Reese's eggs in the closet until I puked. Like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just posted on social media that when I started this journey, I was 173 pounds. Holy crap, how could I have ever done that? Like, no, because there's someone out there that's, or I'm sorry, 173, I meant 273. Someone out there is 273 pounds that needs to hear my story, that sees themselves in my story, that sees themselves in your story, that's just waiting for someone with your voice to speak it. And so denying someone else that blessing is not going to be helpful to them. All right, so guys, we are running right up on time, but I did want to give some time for questions. If you need to hop off, this is kind of the end of the recorded part of this call. I am going to post the incentive, the fun little sharing thing, and I am offering a $25 Amazon gift card for anyone that completes it. So if you complete it, and I have to see that you completed it. You can't just say I completed it. But like whether you tag me in it, however you plan on showing me, you are in charge of that. I am not keeping track of that for you. I can't even keep track of homeschooling my own kids. So like you got to be in charge of you. But if you can complete that before, let's see, it's the 26th of March, there are, oh, they're not numbered. Shoot. Okay. If you complete that before the 23rd of April, so that'll be our last team call night, you will receive, and turn it into me in the team page. You don't have to like turn it into me personally, like post in the team page. You will receive a $25 Amazon gift card because I love incentivizing people for sharing their story and growing our team and making this a big freaking amazing empire of people who are out there spreading hope in a place that isn't really hopeful right now. So thank you guys for your time. I'm happy to stay on for questions. So if you have a question, like unmute yourself and ask, or if you need to hop off, I totally understand that too. Just unmute yourself.
Okay, it's Renee.
Yay,
Hi.
Renee.
I look really shady right now. Okay, so I have a couple things. I am definitely need to read the book because I know it's me. That is making Kale. Can you Kale? Just need 2 more minutes. 2 minutes. Come on, 2 minutes, please. Okay, thanks.
Hiding in the closet.
That's why I look like this. I'm just joking. No, so I definitely know it's me. Like I know that I want to do something and I just don't. Or like I think about writing a post and then I just don't. Like to make those steps. So the book is something I will definitely look into. But I guess my thing is what or where, so here's another piece of me is that I think listening to the team calls on my way to work is a really good idea because I do drive 55 minutes one way to work. I'm still trying to go 1 or 2 days a week to work because it's an empty office now. Everybody else can work from home. I choose to go in because of them. No, I'm just joking. But true. So, right, thanks. Don't judge me. But my thing is then where do I go? Because I do have a couple people that a couple of my friends have signed up under or have transferred to me, and they're really supportive. I guess I just don't really know where to go first and I thank you for sending me that stuff, Danielle, because that was helpful. But about like explaining the different types of enrollment, like doing like the challenge packs, or since they're already enrolled, moving them to the next step, or I just don't really know where to go to read those first. So then if I post something and people are responding to me and I would still like, I need to do this too. I need to change mine so I can do the challenge pack or start the 10 rounds in April. And so I have some people that I think that might be interested in doing that. I just don't know where to go right away to read.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I just feel really overwhelmed with a lot of stuff right now. And so if somebody could just even like just send me a message, it just says like the frequently asked, like somebody had posted, I think Danielle was in one of your things, like number 385. And I'd be like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm
just
gonna
like,
share something with you.
or just little pieces like that of like where to go first, I think would be helpful. I think when I see all that at times, I'm like, okay, I don't have time for that.
Absolutely.
So, which I know I do. I just tell myself that.
Right. Well, we all tell ourselves stories about all kinds of things. I don't have time. I don't
Oh.
have money. I don't have, like that's just normal.
Right.
It's rewriting that narrative, right? So I want to share my screen really quick because this is what I use. I will post this again. It's in the team page, but I'll post it or bump it up or whatever. I created this for our team to share these opportunities. Okay. This is what we offer. So this is nutrition only, which is To Be Mindset and UPF. That does, and it explains exactly what is a virtual boot camp. Nutrition only, again, is just nutrition, no Beachbody On Demand. Fitness only is Beachbody On Demand. So Renee, you're talking about enrolling people for 10 rounds. This is enrolling them for 10 rounds. It is $160. Nutrition and fitness, all inclusive. When you enroll someone with the fitness only, you can always add on a To Be Mindset or a UPF portion to that challenge pack, and it makes it $220. So you, as a new coach, you have your promo code. So this is one of the things we talked about with Keyshawn today. Make it a goal, if you're a brand new coach, to use those promo codes. You have 3 months, I think, now to use them. Use those promo codes. It gives people $10 off, I think, with this. So you're able to offer this at a discount that I can't even offer people this at. So be sure you use your promo codes. But so my, why does this thing get covered up and then I can't find the stop share? Okay. So my way, and I'll happily send that to you privately, but also I'll bump it up because I know it's helpful for everybody. That is all I show people. I don't create phantom share carts for them. I don't screenshot pictures of Beachbody On Demand and this and that and this and that. That confuses everybody. Confusion will never lead to a sale. Drill it down. These are your 3 options. Fitness only, nutrition only, and fitness and nutrition. I can't tell you, when I started showing people that, and I don't explain it, I give it to them. And I'll walk you through exactly what I say to people, but I give them that and I say, let me know which package sounds like it's going to best fit your needs. From what you've shared with me, I think you need to look like, say, I don't know, say Cindy has had a double knee replacement and her doctor has not released her to work out, right? But she still needs to lose weight. So I tell her, from what you've shared with me, the nutrition only package would probably be your best bet. If you want to go ahead and bundle it with fitness too, you're going to save a lot more money and you'll have those resources for when you're ready to be able to work out. But for right now, if you need to save yourself a little bit of money, you might want to look at nutrition only. That, and I give her that, and I probably leave it for 12 to 24 hours. And then I follow up, because that's where people lose people, is you don't follow up. You expect them to get back to you, and you and all of me know that don't ever happen. It never happens. I mean, I say never, rarely happens. I would say, hey, Cindy, did you have a second to take a look at those packages? Are you ready to enroll? Did you think the nutrition package would be the best fit, or do you want to bundle it with the fitness? Those are the kind of things, that's the conversations. And again, please don't mistake my clarity in all of this for always having clarity. I fumbled around a whole lot before I got to this system. But if you can learn and take something from me and be coachable and do it the way that I'm telling you to do it, you will save yourself a whole lot of fumbling if you just give them that.
I want to be simple.
Go ahead.
I want to be simple.
This is simple. And then all you do is create a share cart. All right, Cindy says, hey, yeah, no, actually, I think I want to go ahead and do the fitness and nutrition, because I know when my doctor releases me, I'm going to want to do some low impact stuff. Awesome. Cindy, what's your email address? I'll get your enrollment sent out to you right now. So I get Cindy's email address. Hey, Cindy, did you want to do Shakeology or sorry. Apparently Cindy and Siri sound a lot alike. Hey, Cindy, my phone started recording it. Hey, Cindy, do you want to do Shakeology or do you want to do the performance line? I think the Shakeology would be the best fit for you. Yeah, I'd like to do the Shakeology. Great. I'll send you the sampler pack. And I almost always pick the vegan barista unless they explicitly tell me I do not like chocolate. I do not like coffee. You know, you can go through the extra questions if you want, but you also don't have to make it hard for them. You can just send them the sampler pack that has all 3 flavors in it. So that's how I do it. I create the share a cart. I send it. It says send email. I send the email, and then at that bottom square, it says copy shareable link. I copy the shareable link. I go back to my message with Cindy. Hey, Cindy, here's your enrollment link so you don't have to dig through your email. Sent. And then, hey, here is the promo code that I have for you. Be sure you put it, or usually I will say something to the effect of, let me know when you get to the screen where it asks for the promo code, and I will send you the promo code. Because I don't like sending people promo codes before they're ready to commit to doing it. So then I send them the promo code. Awesome, here's your promo code. Now you know, let me know when you finish your enrollment, and I will get your welcome email sent out. Like, that is the system that every single person that comes into my boot camp goes through. You know, and it can take, I've done it in 10 minutes with somebody, and I've done it in 24 hours with somebody. It just kind of depends on their momentum and how they're ready to do it. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Awesome. Who else has questions? I might have a spider infestation, Carrie, because I see him again.
I don't have a question, but just something kind of to add about just sharing and like what we have to offer during this particular time in life in the world. So I'm in like a chat thread with some other coaches on like our sister team, and one of them was concerned about she was just concerned about sharing like our online workouts, Beachbody on Demand, joining a challenge group because of the people who are like running gyms or like the YMCA or whatever, and their inability to like have a stream of income right now because people can't go, like gyms are closed. And so I mean, I get that too. I live in a very, very rural area. Like we have a YMCA and then we have a privately owned gym. The YMCA closed down before the privately owned one did. Obviously, the privately owned one like just shut down 2 days ago. And one of my good friends is the executive director at the YMCA. And like I know that they're all concerned that their memberships are going to drop, this, that, and the other. But we're all in the same, like we all have the same end goal. We want to help people get healthy. They want to help people get healthy. It's just shifting to online right now. And a lot of those gyms are still doing like their live workouts. They're doing what they can, like to still provide for people. Just that right now, what we're offering is more convenient. It's not like we're trying to snatch up their clients and be like, oh, well, you can't go to the gym, so now I'm going to get you to do this with me and you're mine. Like, that's not it. I don't know.
Love that.
It's just like my 2 cents on that.
I love that mindset, Carrie, because you think about like that's one of the things, you know, we go back to this price objection kind of thing where I will be very, very transparent here. When I started with Beachbody, we were a single family income. My husband was lower enlisted, right? So we didn't make a big old paycheck. We had a brand new baby, all of that kind of stuff. We did not have the money to do this. But you want to know what I didn't have any problem doing? Going to Target and dropping $100 easy with not even blinking. I could get on Amazon and order all kinds of crap and not even tell you what I spent it on. Jane.com, my husband had to take away the credit card from Jane.com. It's just random like junk site, right? Like I had no problem spending money on that stuff. But when it came to this, it was a different level of heart because of my investment. But it's the same concept with this whole gym thing. Giving someone the ability to be able to have convenience right now does not mean they can't ever go to a gym. Amanda Collison, I think, oh no, you're still on, good. She, for the longest time, I mean, you were a Shakeology only girl for a really long time.
Yeah, because I didn't have the time to work out. Like I was awake at 5 a.m. to get myself ready for work, get the girls and then myself out the door by 7:30, work until 5, drive an hour and 20 minutes home to pick them up, get home, put them to bed, and then feed myself dinner at 9 o'clock at night. So yeah, Shakeology almost a long time.
Right. Like that still is the ability to help someone. You still can fill a need. And that, like you said, I love what you're talking about. Like, it's just a mindset shift, Carrie. You're not snatching up anybody. You're not, ooh, yay, gyms are closing. Here, I'm going to gather all these people and you can't ever go anywhere else. That was a huge mindset shift for me. I used to get so butthurt about when I would see friends go doing, I don't know, Orange Theory or I don't know, CrossFit or something like that, because I thought for whatever reason they couldn't benefit from what I have. You want to know what they can do? They can do yoga videos to stretch. They can do our nutrition programs. They can use our supplements. It doesn't have to be this all or nothing mentality. And I think we shoot ourselves in the foot a lot of times when that's all we talk about. And it doesn't mean they can't purchase a challenge pack, because the reality is $160 challenge pack, or if you're a new coach, you can offer somebody a $150 challenge pack. You're giving them a year subscription to an online program. If you piecemeal out how much Disney, unless you're Verizon, how much Disney Plus is charging your family in a year, how much Netflix is charging your family in a year, how much Hulu is charging your family in a year, we're real comparable to that. But you still have Netflix and you still have Hulu. At least we do. We don't have one or the other. We have both, right? So you don't have to make a decision between running or Beachbody On Demand. Weightlifting at the gym I have a girl who's getting ready to enroll this weekend, who is a power lifter. She doesn't have to, and she like, her mind was blown when she was like, well, I don't think Beachbody On Demand applies to me. Like, I power lift at the gym and I do these competitions. And I was like, yeah, but don't you need to work accessory muscles, and don't you need like yoga and stretching and like getting that flexibility? Said, because from my perspective with power lifters, they're all bulk and they don't have any stretch and flexibility. Don't you still need nutrition? And she was like, oh my God, yes. It's just a supplementation to that. It's the same thing. You know, I feel like I need to insert this because I've chosen to make this a full-time career with Beachbody. It doesn't have to be for you. You can still make income that supplements a job that you're very passionate about. It doesn't mean you can't love your regular job if you supplement it with some other income. And yeah, I think about Carrie with that. She loves being a PE teacher. It doesn't mean she can't supplement her teacher income with another passion. You can do both. The all or nothing mentality does not help. I mean, really, I don't know, I could come up with like hand grenades and, you know, that kind of analogy, but like, it's not helpful for anybody except for like maybe the circumstances I think of. So.
Yeah. And one other thing that I wanted to touch on too, I feel like I'm echoing because I'm in a hallway, but I had to plug my computer in. This happened to me. So Carl Deichler, the CEO, was running like this ad campaign where he was doing like radio ads for Beachbody On Demand, like the free trial, like call this number, text this number, blah, 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 for a 14-day free trial. There were ads like on billboards and beside the buses and things. And so before any of this virus stuff even hit, like he had pushed out this ad campaign. And I mean, there's ads for Beachbody On Demand on Snapchat. There's ads for, I mean, they're everywhere. And now, and people were like already seeing them, but now people are paying attention to them because it applies to them and it's something that they need. And so yesterday I'm scrolling through Facebook and this woman had posted a picture of Beachbody On Demand. And I was like, hold on. Are you, like, sent her a message. Are you working with a coach? No, I just saw the free trial. I just got it.
Yep.
Okay, well, we're going to fix that. Like, now I'm her coach, and on April 6th, she's going to cancel her trial and get 10 rounds. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, it could have gone the other way. She could have signed up with a coach, but had I not asked, I never would have known.
You never would have even known. Oh my gosh, Carrie, I love that. Yeah, I've had and this is kind of a benefit of moving. Like I get a whole new warm market that I'm building just by being a nice human in my neighborhood, you know, at my church. But I had a girl, it was right after Christmas. She was acting all weird around me, and we've talked and like, but she was acting really weird. And I was like, hey, Dee, how are you? You doing okay? She was like, I was like, oh, all right. I was doing the coffee service. And then like, she just blurts out, I just kind of went on about my business, and she blurts out, I signed up with Beachbody On Demand from an ad. And I was like, oh, all right. Like, good for you. That's awesome. I said, did you sign up with a coach? No, I don't want anybody asking me about my workouts. And I said, well, you know, you can have a coach like me. And I promise if you don't want me to ask you about your workouts, I won't. And she was like, okay, so how do I get you as my coach? But you have to promise you won't ever ask me about my workouts. I'm like, all right, I guess if like, that's what you want. But she would never have known to do that had I not had some show horse in me. If all I ever did was work horse behavior and I never posted anything about anything, she would have never even known. Had Carrie not reached out to this girl, she would have never even known that she could have a coach. So many people have Beachbody On Demand and don't even realize they can have a coach. Now Dee has bought a challenge pack. You know, she was over here right before the shutdown happened. And she was like, oh, you drink Shakeology. I'm like, yep, 5 years now. And she said, oh, can I try some? So I sent her home with a little baggie, and she was like, oh, I want to get some of that. I loved it. Okay. Like that's just the natural progression of how all of this builds when you do those foundational activities and when you put your story out there and when you talk to people and invite them and are bold, you know. That's excellent, Carrie.
Yeah, I actually got 2 people from that one post.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else have anything before we hop off here? I know it's getting late East Coast, but I love talking to you guys. I would love to just.
I got nowhere to be.
I know.
Actually, just kidding. I think I'm going to go work at the store tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I need to call my dad. We just got 2 confirmed cases of the whatever it's called in our county.
Maybe have some.
So I want to be like, did they go to that store in the past couple of days? Because I'm not going to work if they did.
Right.
Okay, if it makes you feel any better, there was a grocery store employee who tested positive at the grocery store I was just at on Sunday, so it's fine.
That's another thing. I'm going to need more. I mean, I have a good amount of groceries right now. At some point, I'm going to need more.
Wash your hands, say your prayers. Jesus and germs are everywhere.
Get some hand sanitizer with you.
Right. I was at the grocery store on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday. And the lady had gloves on, which was a very nice gesture. Gloves to nothing. They touch everything with their gloves. And I'm like, well, that's nice for your hand.
Protects her.
Orange and her cash just interacted. So, yeah. So we did a little scrubby scrub when we got home with all the things. But I mean, take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Do what you're supposed to do and have faith that we're gonna come out of this okay. All right, ladies. Well, I'm going to let you go. I love you all, and I'm so grateful for your time tonight. Thanks for sticking in. If I can answer any questions, please let me know.
Okay.
Bye. Good night.